This tells, the world that, hey, we can do this again over and over. And
We just did it again with P. Diddy.
this just confirms it that the deep state exists. I mean, look at these names. Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Alan Dershowitz. I mean, there were some parts of it that they released, yes. But after Epstein getting caught twice, first time around, he got a slap on the wrist and, hey, it's okay, get out of here. And he continued.
So how was your 4th of July?
My 4th of July was fantastic. I celebrated America. I celebrated freedom. I celebrated entrepreneurship.
That's part of freedom, right?
Episode number 22. Rob, welcome back again to the social venture. We have a lot to talk about today, especially with what's going on this week.
Everything's every week.
Everything is your favorite topics, by the way, this time. Epstein, Nobel Peace Prize, Trump being nominated by the Israeli Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu, Epstein, no client list. That's something else that's very interesting. But that's actually what I want to start with today.
Okay.
Epstein, what do you think? No list? Do you care? Does America care?
You know what? I think it's stick a fork in it. It's done. It's done.
But why should we be all quiet about it all of a sudden?
Well, I think it just seems like it's a cluster they're giving us every time they just throw a little few crumbs out there for us to nibble at, and then they sweep the rest of the crumbs off the table. I think we have more pressing issues with Texas. I think with Israel and Iran, with Russia and Ukraine, with the tariffs. We got all these things that are more important than these pedophiles. I think right now.
So what you're telling me is that we should let these pedophiles go like nothing happened?
No, but why isn't the media focusing on it? It's more about the media.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody's not talking it like it's done deal kind of. No client list, but somebody's in jail for 20 years for trafficking.
They have information. They have redacted information. They have files. They just don't have a list of people. See, so this is why I think the semantics come in. They go, "Where's the client list?" They weren't clients. They're not on a list. They're doing deep research. We'll see what they find when reading the stuff. Pam Bondi said it's on her desk. She didn't say, anything about releasing. She's going to do some research. She's going to research it.
No, she said she has a directive from President Trump about being transparent and releasing these names.
Yes, but she's not the one that got, somebody gives her a list or gives her paperwork. It's not like she can create it out of thin air. She said there's no client list there.
I know, but if we don't investigate this right now, this tells, the world that, hey, we can do this again over and over. And
we just did it again with P. Diddy.
I get that, but it doesn't mean that it's okay. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't look into it. It doesn't mean we shouldn't question the government. We shouldn't question Trump and the administration and, Kash Patel and all these people who are way, before getting into office telling us what we want to hear to vote for them, rather than when they get into public office and they do the complete opposite. That's what I think. I mean, these names. I'm gonna read you off a list of names, possible names, but
possible names.
But hold on, but some of these names have been confirmed that have been on the flight logs. The flight logs were public.
Bill Clinton,
one of them. Prince Andrew, another. Somebody who was almost prosecuted. He's not even coming to the U.S. not to get prosecuted because his name was on the list.
And his pictures of him.
Exactly, pictures of him with the dead girl. The girl died. You know that, right?
She committed suicide.
She committed suicide like Epstein.
Yeah. At
her house. I mean, that just...
So what is more pressing to you as far as the media to cover this?
Yes.
You know what? Give us this when it's all done.
You know what's pressing to me? This confirms and tells me that there is a deep state. All that controversy and that conspiracy theory that everybody talks about it, that if you believe there's a deep state, then you are, loco, you're crazy, you're delusional. This just confirms it, that the deep state exists. If these people are on flight logs, I mean, look at these names: Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Alan Dershowitz, Les Wexner, Ghislaine Maxwell, we know. Ehud Barak, he's the former prime minister of Israel. Woody Allen, very famous. Bill Gates, RFK, your current secretary. George Mitchell, Kevin Spacey. What did Kevin Spacey get recalled for?
However, it's not telling you that these flight logs. It's not telling you these people went to Epstein's island. It said they're on the flight logs. He used to let these people use his jet to go from one state to the other. That's the problem. They just it's a bunch of just shit. And I'm personally I'm just like, okay, I don't need to hear this shit anymore. When I saw that P. Diddy got off of
Harvey Weinstein, Larry Summers, Marvin Minsky. These are academics, professors, senators, politicians. These are people that were being held by their balls by Epstein and the Mossad.
There's no proof of any of this. There's no proof. That's the problem. It
no,
doesn't tell you what flight logs they were on.
Hold on. Let's go back for a second. It's not that there's no proof. There isn't proof that we have witnessed, that we have seen. I'm sure there is proof. Therefore, they're not releasing anything. I'm sure there is proof. Therefore, they're saying...
What was the proof when you were younger, when you believed in Santa Claus?
I don't think I ever believed in Santa Claus, but...
You never believed in Santa Claus?
No, I don't think so. In Russia, Santa Claus was a little bit weird.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like... It's the media is just a ton of trash.
No.
They just keep throwing out there. This is the
what
same
trash? What
list.
are they throwing out there?
This is the same list that's been out for years.
Okay.
You're not getting anything new. You're getting the same regurgitated
I know, because
shit.
They're most likely redacting the names, the new names that could have possibly been on this list. They're not releasing those names. That's what I'm trying to say. They're just hiding the list. They're hiding the so-called client. And when you say client, don't take the word for its,
Did you need this
for
information?
its meaning.
Did you need this information to believe there was somebody else or some other
group
of people?
That's not what I'm saying.
This like a deep state they call.
No, but this just reconfirms it.
Maybe the deep
this
state's
affirms that fact that there is a deeper state. There are people pulling the strings that are not elected to office. Let me put it this way. There are people, families, or certain groups or individuals, or maybe even companies. I don't know. Companies, big trillion-dollar companies out there.
Vanguard, BlackRock.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we don't know that. We're just guessing.
Who was the biggest propagandist before World War II? Like who was? Because it seems like after the
Hitler, before World War II.
Yeah. Before Hitler came into power and got the minister of propaganda, was it
Goebbels?
Goebbels? Is that how you say it? Goebbels?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, before then, was there a lot of propaganda? Was this something that's been created?
Yeah, but
in the 20th
century?
Look,
propaganda is widely known to be used by governments.
Of course,
right?
But I'm saying this is just It just seems
this list is not propaganda by the government. The propaganda by the government is that there is no clients. There isn't. These people did not go to Epstein Island. These
Where did
people,
that list come from?
This came from flight logs that people researched on their own. I don't think the government did. The government release these names? I don't think they. I mean, there were some parts of it that they released, yes, but after Epstein getting caught twice, first time around he got a slap on the wrist and, hey, it's okay, get out of here. And he continued.
And what happened after you got a slap on the wrist?
Nothing.
Did anybody care? Did anybody?
No, back then, internet didn't exist that it does today.
It did.
Social media didn't exist that the way that it exists today.
It was in Florida.
Yes, it was. And then I think his trial was it in New York or Florida the first time he got arrested? I don't remember.
Because the guy who was I don't know. They let him off. They gave him a deal, and he basically.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is that these people got elected to office before getting elected or coming into power. They were saying, hey, you know what? We're on the side of the public. We're going to release all those names. That's the first thing I'm going to do. You think I'm not going to? He was on Joe Rogan, Kash Patel, talking about that. Tom, can you pull that up? Do you have that? Look.
Yeah, he's saying something like they're going to release what they have.
We're not going to re-victimize women. We're not going to put that shit back out there. It's not happening because then he wins. Not doing it. You want to hate me for it? Fine. Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Don't you think I was
if you
using?
have access to it.
If I have it, period.
Right.
If I have it. If I have it.
So I don't know if that big if I have is already downplaying that, maybe he doesn't, but how can you not? You're the FBI director. You have you have access to the most valuable and secretive information to this country, like J.
What do you think?
Do you remember what J. Edgar Hoover was doing?
Yeah, but
He was doing the exact same thing.
I'd have to do research. I don't know.
J.
I know he
Edgar
was
Hoover,
a creep.
he was a creep,
and he spied on Americans, and
he
pulled
spied.
shit.
He even spied on Kennedy. I mean, he had his secretary. I think it was him and his secretary were the only ones who had a dossier on like every single prominent American at the time in the country in the 50s and the 60s. Fighting communism, so-called, right? This is exactly what's going on right now.
What's more important?
I think this is very important.
Or the Supreme Court just allowing Trump to fire
Who?
anybody he wants in government, or to pull money, like stop funds going. This is important stuff. This is not important stuff.
Listen, you know what I'm saying? That
This is all like
speaking of
look at
corruption and everything, America is also very corrupt. America also has people like this, like Epstein, who may possibly be, or I mean, this is not, of course, confirmed. This is just an allegation that he might be a Mossad agent, and I wouldn't be even surprised that from the get-go, that Mossad planted him here in the United States. I mean, he's like an Israeli spy planted here because there's a bunch of them, right? We're gonna actually have somebody like that on our podcast in this coming week. KGB put in sleeper cells. Chinese put sleeper cells. Another Chinese spy just got recently arrested as well. And why can't Israel plant a sleeper cell like Epstein to do this? Why do you think we are the best ally of Israel as well? This can be another reason. Why do you think that possibly Trump just, agreed to Netanyahu's request of bombing Iran? Because his name was also possibly on this list. You know what I'm saying? You got to put all of this in perspective, that there is a likelihood that this not only plays, when you say it's not important, this is how it's important. It's important to reference of political climate.
You are just coming up with theories. You're coming up with theories that this could be important. This could be important. We don't have that information. We don't have that. We don't have the information that Bibi Netanyahu could be on that list. We don't.
I'm not talking about Bibi Netanyahu. I'm talking about Trump. Trump's name is on the list.
He's on the list, but what about Trump throwing him out of Mar-a-Lago because he was trying to harass 13 or 15-year-old girls, and Trump had him thrown out and said he's never allowed back here again. I'm not gonna. This is it's a witch hunt. Come to me when you have. Don't keep saying, "Oh, we're going to release the list."
We're never going to have it.
Then that's fine. Let's move on.
I know, but we can't just say, it's okay. But yeah,
you have children. You want this government to be sustainable for their lifetime, right? So
yes, that's why they didn't release their names, because this government.
You have the names right there.
No, evidence, like the actual evidence, footage, or I'm sure there's footage too. I'm almost certain there's footage. All the intelligence agencies do this. The KGB or the FSB in Moscow right now have specific hotels. When foreign dignitaries go to Moscow, okay, they take them to a specific room where cameras are already implanted. And then they honey trap them. And for people that don't know what a honey trap is they use women, as to trap them and have sex with them.
Or men.
Yeah, there's a bunch of men who love men, but they can't publicly say it. And they do that, and then they use that against them. I mean, freaking companies, private companies do this. So somebody can stay away from a contract and give away a contract,
Yeah. So
espionage or sexpionage, that's what they used to call it. Oh, what is this? Okay. Espionage, allegations, and Israeli ties. Robert Maxwell, we know him, Ghislaine's dad. Legacy is deeply intertwined with espionage and Israeli intelligence services. Its ties to the Mossad, numerous credible sources and intelligence experts, including former Mossad agents, have claimed, look what have they claimed. Maxwell acted as an Israeli spy, helping Mossad with intelligence operation and media influence. He was very rich, by the way, very, very wealthy.
He was like the Fox News newspaper, the New York Times in
allegedly
England.
Played a role in facilitating the smuggling of the Promise software, surveillance tools sold to governments, and later reportedly, what does it say? Backdoor by Israeli intelligence. I mean, these are Israeli spies claiming that Robert Maxwell was a spy. He died by accident over the boat, right? He killed himself again.
So they say.
Right?
Yeah.
Epstein died.
So they say.
He hung himself. The number one whistleblower in this case died, killing herself as well, right?
Osama bin Laden died, so they say.
No.
But I'm just saying. I mean, all these people, none of these people die. You think
we don't see eye to eye to this, but whatever it is, I think this is bullshit. That's what I think.
I agree with you, but how many years has this been going on? It's like the JFK. Who shot JFK? It's the same bullshit. You know what I mean? We all know in our hearts that it wasn't a one shooter.
Yeah.
Okay, we all know that. We're never going to find out. They're never going to release that shit.
I know, but it doesn't mean that we should be okay with it. That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm not okay with it, but I want to.
We can't say, okay, let's just sweep it under the rug and get it over with.
It's not over with.
But it is.
Keep investigating.
It is.
And come to me when you have new information. You have no new information. It's the same.
The information has been there forever.
Yeah.
The question is, will it ever be released? And the answer is no. Never. That's the answer. But look at this. Ghislaine's role, the daughter of Robert, Ari Ben Menashe, former Mossad operative, has stated that Ghislaine accompanied her father to intelligence gatherings and became involved in the family's espionage or so-called sexpionage activities. Ben Menashe further claims that Ghislaine and Epstein were recruited into a unit of Israeli military intelligence tasked with blackmailing American public figures. Is this not enough for us? This is not speculation. Whatever I was just saying, I was not speculating. We are basing our thoughts and our opinions on some facts, which this is a fact.
You gotta click on the WashingtonStandard.com and see all of the different, because the thing with ChatGPT is it's not 100%.
I know it's not 100%, but it gathers sources right from the internet, and these sources, are confirmed by these journalists. And anyways, let's pass on that. But speaking of Trump in Israel,
yes,
your favorite president, so is mine. Trump is being nominated to a Nobel Peace Prize.
Okay,
by Netanyahu. What do you think about that?
Well, if Obama got one, why not? They hand them out like candy anyway.
No, come on. They don't hand them out like candy.
Oh, yes. Obama. What did Obama get a Nobel Peace Prize for?
That's not the point. I'm not saying
that's handing it out like candy.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is, do you think he should get a Peace Prize? For what?
Pakistan, India.
Pakistan, India, what? What did he do with Pakistan, India?
They got them to sign some peace treaty. He got the two places in the Congo, Africa. They got them to stop fighting. He basically got Israel and Iran to stop fighting. They're not really fighting right now. The only person now we're going to go to war because Putin doesn't want to stop bombing Ukraine.
But now he's funding Ukraine again. You know that, right?
He's releasing military,
Something that he was. This is just. I don't know if I want to say hypocritical, because to some extent it is. I mean, he was bashing Biden for spending shed loads of money. Can you pull up that article, Tom, about him providing or giving military aid to Ukraine again? Trump. I don't know. Here, go to the top. Go to the title up there. Trump slams Russia, Ukraine, whereas Biden created monster while unveiling new aid package. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with his second term. Maybe it's his last term, and he doesn't, care that he's not going to run for re-election. But this is telling me again, and this is being proven to me, that when these people, presidents, the leader of the free world, literally the leader of the free world, right, comes into power, and he's not doing the things he intended or he wanted to do. I think he's being told. He's being told what to do. We're trying to help out with the Biden-created monster. So look, he's still bashing Biden. Biden-created monster. The whole thing happening with Russia and Ukraine, it's horrible. It's a horrible thing, and I'm not happy with President Putin at all. And then he says, but this is something that never would have happened if I were president. This was a war that was never going to happen. Now you're president. You said that you were going to end this in a phone call the first week of office. First 100 day of office, fine, which passed already. Look, again, he's definitely better than Kamala. 100%.
Yeah. Well,
there's no question about that. I don't know how she's going to run for being a governor here. She has 24% lead compared to Caruso, Antonio Villagrosa, Katie Porter, and who else was there? Elena, the current lieutenant governor. She has like 2% of the vote. Rick Caruso has 9% of the vote. Antonio Villagrosa has 4% of the vote. She's leading 24%. I can't believe Californians want to see her back, to public office.
Well, we'll see. They're putting the Department of Homeland Security is putting together a database for citizens of this country, so that by the next time we have an election, when you go to the vote and you have to show your ID, and if you're not a citizen,
you can't vote.
You cannot vote. So they can't steal elections either one way or the other. I mean, they can't steal elections anymore. So I don't think anybody wants that hag in politics anymore. She's useless. She's a drunk, and she's another Karen Bass or Newsom. They're all trash. I think going back to your comment on Trump is, I don't think Trump understood what he was getting into when he just spurred. That's what he does. He's a salesman. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Oh, we need rust proofing for your car now. What do you mean? It's a brand new car. Why do I need rust proofing? You know what I mean? He's just a salesman. I hope for the best, like I did when Biden became president and when Obama became president. I hope for the best. I don't have a problem with anything he's doing right now. He's still trying to fix the problem. So that's all he can do. The guy's got think about everything that you have to deal with during the day, and then think about everything the leader of a country has to deal with during the day. It's like the guy's. I personally think he should stop with a lot of the press. Press meetings. He should take a break from all that shit. But when did Biden talk to the press? Never.
Biden couldn't talk. That's
what I'm saying. So this guy every day he's talking to the press. Why do we need him talking every day? Just leave it alone. Stop trying to defend your policies every day, saying the same shit.
It's getting a little bit old.
Of course it is. It's been 6 months now. I mean, it's like, okay, enough.
But only 6 months. That's the thing. Can you imagine? He still has 3.5 years. What's going to happen?
Well, we can only hope for the best.
Yes, we can. If he gets nominated and gets awarded, he'll be the 5th U.S. president to have the Nobel Peace Prize. Teddy Roosevelt, Carter, Obama, him, and who else was there? Wilson, Woodrow Wilson. Oh, you know why Woodrow Wilson? Maybe he signed the Federal Reserve Act. That's why.
Yeah, the best thing to happen to this country. And before that was the president that was big on tariffs, right?
Who?
Wasn't there in the 18th century, there was a president, I forget his name. He was a big tariff guy.
So the big tariffs that we had was during the Great Depression, the Smoot-Hawley Act, Congressman Smoot and Congressman Hawley. That's why it's called the Smoot-Hawley Act. Yeah. They put it together, but that just turned things upside down for the U.S. towards the worse, not the better. So, and that time, hold on, it was Roosevelt, right? President since 39. But anyways,
I think it was McKinley. Yeah, because he came into the 20th century. Was big on tariffs.
William McKinley.
And we had such a surplus of money. We had such a surplus, and then they created this Federal Reserve, a dozen years later.
So the Federal Reserve We had the Federal Reserve since before 1913. Was that? Can you look up when the Federal Reserve Act was signed? I think it was 1913.
Yeah, right before World War I.
Right.
6 months
on
later,
Christmas Eve, by the way. There you go, 1913, December 23rd, when half of Congress wasn't in.
And then wasn't it 1940 of July we got involved in World War I?
But look at this.
They financed.
Look at this interesting fact. Can you pull up how many times? So the Federal Reserve had a contract with the United States for 10 years. Like 10 years expired, and then another 10 years expired, and then another 10 years. So when they signed in, this is like a forever. This is a thing, what do you call it? A perpetual agreement. It doesn't end. Kind of.
Look at it says, needed a central bank to prevent future financial collapses.
And then we had one. How many?
15 years later.
Exactly. 1929.
14 years later. So it didn't do its job, but we kept it in like we do with our politicians. They don't do their job, but we keep them in power.
Yeah.
How fucking foolish is that? Manages inflation. Okay.
Oh, now this is not okay, but Epstein is okay. We don't care about Epstein.
This is monetary. This is what our government is.
I know, but these people rule your monetary policies. These people are the ones ruling this country. These people who set the tone of laws in this country.
Give me something new about the Epstein case. There's nothing new. They're just regurgitating the same old shit. That's what I'm saying to you. There's no list. There's a list. There's no list. There's a list. Now, these people on the list, we all know these people. Oh, I knew Dershowitz was on the list.
Let's give Trump a Nobel Peace Prize. Okay, let's do that.
Trump was on the list, and all these people, Clinton.
I don't think.
Give me something new.
I don't think politicians should get Nobel Peace Prizes. I mean, I'm sure there should be an exception to like super peaceful and transparent leaders and who are not controversial and who are not corrupt. But a Nobel Peace Prize is, it's just like the top echelon of prizes that only, like scientists, somebody who invented something, somebody that, cured a disease, somebody who, made a vaccine for cancer or specific cancer. I think people like that should get these prizes. But
you know what? It's like
you think Elon Musk should get a Nobel Peace Prize? I think he deserves it more than Trump. Starlink, SpaceX, space exploration.
Could we look up before we go even deeper into this?
I mean, he's bringing on things to the public that are making people's lives easier. This is like another invention.
Is that what the Nobel, what is the prerequisite for the Nobel Peace Prize? We don't even know that, do we?
No, we do. Can we pull that up? Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Prerequisite Nobel Peace Prize, right? Let's ask chat.
Does it have to do with war?
Hold on. Hey, chat, what is the prerequisite for being nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize? Let's see what it says.
To be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, there's actually no specific age or education requirement or anything like that. The key thing is that you need to be
alive.
Yes, definitely being alive is a key requirement. The Nobel Peace Prize can only be awarded to living individuals or active organizations. Another interesting fact is that there are specific people who can nominate someone for the prize, like members of national governments, professors, past laureates, and a few others. So you need one of them to put your name forward.
But besides being alive, are there any other prerequisites?
Other than being alive, the main prerequisite is really just doing significant work that contributes to peace. There's no formal application process. It's really about being recognized by the global community or by someone who can nominate you for your efforts in promoting peace, resolving conflicts, or advancing human rights. So it's a bit open-ended in that sense.
There you go. You heard that. So as long as you're alive. You want me to nominate you?
Well, I mean, Elon Musk is now trying to start a third party. right?
Yeah, he is. Third party, the American Party.
I don't know, man.
How many parties do we have right now? We have the Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians, Independents,
Green Party.
But out of those,
Reform
I mean,
Party.
Reform, yeah, that's right. But out of those, I mean, only the parties that we deal with is Republican and Democrat.
Basically, another party steals away from, because they're gonna overlap in a lot of their policies. So, like, if Elon starts a political party, who is it going to steal votes from? Is it going to steal votes from the Democrats or the Republicans? Kind of like Ross Perot did when it was Clinton, Bush.
Oh yeah, Ross Perot. Yeah.
He was leading. He was beating.
Yeah, that's right.
Because people were fed up.
Yeah,
and then they got to him. The deep state, whoever got to him.
I was just going to say that you did. The Epstein got to him.
And it was Ross Perot on the Epstein.
I don't know.
Right? So somebody got to him, and then he came back. He dropped out, and then he came back, which showed he had no integrity, and Bill Clinton ends up squeaking by. I think if Ross Perot didn't come in, we probably would have had Bush again.
So this is his motivation and strategy for the America Party. Framed as a pro-tech, fiscally conservative for debt reduction, pro-energy, deregulatory, AI-enhanced military, and pro-birth. Positioned as an antidote to perceived one-party failure for both major parties and deficit and debt. Potential allies, look at these people. Andrew Yang, libertarian voices are also reaching out. And then Mark Cuban and Anthony Scaramucci provided support to Musk.
Oh, Scaramucci.
Remember him?
He's a friggin' fraud, that guy. He jumps wherever he gets paid the most. And Mark Cuban's he's just a lucky because he's a tech nerd who made $1 billion off technology, and he's another one. You know, these guys, I want to look at the list of where they put their money. Charitable, where is your charitable money going? I want to see that list of Mark Cuban. How many charities does he give money to? Which charities? Then I'll start seeing what he's all about.
I'm sure he does.
Of course,
most billionaires.
Of course they do, because they get tax write-offs. And I'll get rid of the tax write-offs for giving money to charities, and let's see how many charities they give money to. It's a tax write-off, and they look good. We all know that.
But I'll be honest. I'm okay with having another party, America Party. Sure, why not?
I have voted.
That just builds on top of this experiment of this country, which is this democracy.
What third parties have you voted for?
Well, none of them were on the final ballot in order for me to vote for. I mean,
yes,
no.
they were.
Who was on a presidential ballot for me to vote?
Ralph Nader for the Green Party.
No, who?
You talking about this time?
Yeah.
I'm talking in your whole voting experience. Have you ever
my
voted
whole
for
voting experience?
third party?
So I started voting from 2000 when Bush was getting. I think hold on. I didn't vote. My first presidential election I voted for was, I think, Obama.
Okay.
And I voted for Obama.
So you voted Democrat and then one time Republican.
I voted Democrat twice. And then I voted Republican twice.
So when did you vote?
No, hold on. After Obama, we had
Hillary.
Hillary did. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I voted for Obama twice, and then I voted for Trump twice. So 16 years, right?
So Trump ran 3 times. So who did you vote for the second time? Biden?
No, I didn't vote for Biden. So hold on. Let's get this straight. 2008. It was Obama, right?
Yep. Then 2012
versus
Obama.
McCain.
Yep.
Right? And then 2012, it was Obama versus the
Romney.
Senator Mitch Romney. What's his name? Mitt Romney.
Yeah.
Mitt Romney. And then 2016, it was Hillary and Trump, right? I voted for Trump.
Okay.
And then 2020, it was Biden and Trump. I voted for Trump. And then, again, this final election, it was Trump and Biden and Kamala combined together. I voted for Trump, yeah.
So you voted for Trump more than I did.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I voted for Trump 3 times.
I voted for him twice.
Yeah, I voted for... So you voted for Biden?
I voted for Hillary.
No way.
Yeah.
You
I
traitor.
voted. I didn't like Trump. I didn't like Hillary, but my wife was big on Hillary.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I'm in California. Trump's not going to win anyway. So I gave my vote to Hillary for my wife.
Got it.
And she divorced me.
And where is she now?
Shit. I threw up in my mouth and voted. And but no, I voted Republican. I voted Democrat. I don't know if I voted Democrat. Yeah, I did. Hillary. I voted Republican. I voted Democrat. I voted Independent. I voted Reform Party. I voted Green Party. I voted Libertarian. I vote for the candidate and for the policies. But I don't know. It never really. It's kind of like it took my vote away from either voting Democrat or Republican, right? So I don't know if a third party is good, because we're going to have to. They're not going to. At this point in our lives, I don't think it's going to.
So this is when it's going to be good, a third party, when we have enough congressional representation and enough senators, in the Senate. That's when, a third party system will come into play. And then instead of being split halfway, it'll be split into, three different ways. Voting.
What if we get away? What if we just?
It's just. I don't understand. He's saying that his motivation and strategy, or like what the America Party kind of stands for, is pro-tech, fiscally conservative, which is what the Republicans are, pro-energy, deregulatory, AI, enhanced military, and pro-birth. So pro-birth is very Republican. Deregulation, is also Republican, right? We don't want a lot of government involvement. And then debt reduction, I think it's mutual between conservatives and liberals.
These policies benefit his world.
Yeah, his world, yeah. Protect, AI, enhanced military. I mean, these things aren't, I don't think these are like beliefs. It's like I'm pro-choice, and or the other way around. I mean, what am I going to be? I mean, you can be a pro-tech or anti-tech, but this is kind of these aren't like beliefs, in a party system rather than some.
So he's like a computer, anyways. His brain works like a computer. He has no personality. I really don't think. I don't think he's a real true leader. He's a mush head as far as like.
What do you really think sparked this feud between them? What's the real reason, in your opinion?
I don't know. I mean, all these reports coming out that he's on all this like ketamine and stuff like that, which now you're seeing ads for people to take ketamine. I don't even know what it is and what it does. But it's supposedly he's on that. And they were saying he was doing other kinds of supplements. Like
I get that. Do you think like that? Like that's something that brought the feud up? Or I'm saying, what do you think?
I think he's an unstable guy. I think he's just the guy has 20 kids. He's got how many people he impregnated. The guy has no integrity. He has no like foundation or he just goes at whatever the whim is that's in his head at the time. I mean, who the hell? I know you're a multi-billionaire, but come on. Is it fair to bring children into the world when you can't be a father to them, that you're just making children with women? And then who's gonna sit there? Like me and my son had a long talk last night about certain things that a young man needs to talk about. And he came to me and he says, I need to ask your advice. And I sat there with him and I talked to him. This guy is just all over the map. He's a mental case. That's what he is. He's like a computer. His brain works like a computer.
So you think he needs to be rebooted?
I think he needs to be unplugged.